Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so next
Kids
coming
उठाना है,
up
they can take
is
it.
the session by Fredrik
Yeah,
on performance management. We have Priya with us to
you can keep
introduce
it.
Fredrik.
No
So
problem.
yeah, Priya, please come.
माइक पे बोल ही दो ना. हाँ, वो माइक पे बोल देते कि
Just give another minute for everybody to settle in. Everybody, can I please have everybody's attention here? Everyone? Thank you. Over to you, Priya.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think you had a lot of fun at the workshop. Yeah. A very, very engaging workshop. Very good. Great. We are just going to take a lightning session, and this is my colleague over here, Fredrik Billstrom. As he already mentioned, that he is a professional runner also. And he's going to bring his own experiences into the performance management. I'm just going to give this is not going to be my talk, it is actually Fredrik's. But I'm just going to give you a pretext of this. Whenever we talk about performance management, a typical bell curve and the things like that comes in my mind, and everybody has been working on that in a pure agile manner, and so we change our ways of working. And instead of giving a yearly performances, which is just not serving any purpose, we actually went into the holistic way of looking at the things. And one of that is no more performance discussion, more well-being check-in. Okay, so it's a shift, it's a mindset shift that we all had to do. And believe me or not, many people keep wondering, अरे मेरी category कहाँ है? मैं कौन सी category में आता हूँ आजकल? That kind of stuff. So I really want to tell you about this, that this session is not about how do we reinvented the performance management. It is all about the real person, a person who is actually a contributing factor in your big productivity game. How he is actually, what is his best performance, when is his best performance comes out of him? And what do you think that when his best performance come out of him? When do you think that he is best performing? Any answers here? When he's motivated. Another one? Oh, very good. Great. Psychological safety? Purpose? Okay. Regular feedback? Okay. Yep. Autonomy? Yeah. Yeah. So intelligent. Yeah. Challenged. Yes. Actually, very good point. When he feels. Not get judged continuously. If I have to summarize all these things, it needs to really come from the peaceful state. And yesterday, Piyush was talking about it. He was telling about secure and stable mind, right? It's exactly what that is. You said psychological safety or motivated. It is secure, stable and secure mind. And how less importance we give it to the mind. Whenever we think about the mind, the first thing we think about, तेरे को feedback कैसे दूँ? Judge कैसे करूँ? Because, and that is what we want, this whole dynamics needs to be changed. And so I introduce you, Fredrik, who will be talking about, who will be actually doing a workshop with you on this particular thing. And it's a lightning workshop, so it is not going to be pretty deep or something. So don't look for some silver bullet here. But what is important is that message going across that will linger in your mind. And when I'm looking at an individual, it's not about what skills you bring, what talent you have, how motivated. It is always about secure and stable mind, right? And that secure and stable mind will give you the highest amount of productivity. So with that, I introduce to Fredrik. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Priya. Really nice being here, talking with you all. I will have 2 rules for this workshop. So I would like you to not be on your phones, if that is okay. And if you feel that you have to work and be on your phone, it's okay to leave. I will not be offended. So please, no phones. And you can take pictures with me later, and we can talk more. And for questions, I would actually prefer that you don't ask them questions, and we can talk outside later. This session is more of an introspective, so it's more actually for you to be in your minds. I think you've all gotten so much knowledge these 2 days already, so I will not teach you that many things, but I will try to take you inside your own heads, and we'll see how it goes. You don't even have to look at me. You can close your eyes and you can, look at a colleague. Or it's I'm not the star here. It's you who are a star, and you. Okay. How many here have seen or read anything from Lord of the Rings? Raise your hand. Lord of the Rings by Tolkien. It's not that popular. Okay. Yeah, so maybe 35%. How many know about Bhagavad Gita? Okay, so almost everyone. Okay, that's good. But I will tell you a little bit about Lord of the Rings, and maybe you will watch the movie or read the book afterwards. So the book and the movie, it starts in the Shire. And the Shire is, picture this green place. There's a lot of trees, and it's a beautiful place. No pollution, not like Delhi, like the opposite. So there's these short people, hobbits. You can picture them as dwarves, but they're called hobbits. But they're living in a place. They're living in paradise, but they're mostly going about doing what regular people do. They sit at home and they go to the pub and they drink beer and have some fun. But they're really mostly at home. They're not really doing that much else. It's a quite peaceful life. Very different from my experience here in India. The hobbits would not survive in India if they went there directly. I think they would work too much, get stressed. But a wizard comes to the Shire. I will not tell you the whole story, but he takes some hobbits with him, and they go out to adventure. On this adventure, most of the times, life sucks for them. They experience, trolls. They experience orcs. Orcs are like the evil people who wants to kill them and fight them. But they have a goal. Their goal is this magical evil ring that Sauron made. So Sauron is, the big evil genius. And they have to destroy it. So they're on a mission to destroy the ring, because the ring is, it can't be controlled, it has to be destroyed. So that's the goal. And a lot of things happen. People die, people fight, and in the end, of course, the ring gets destroyed. But then they come back to the Shire again, back to the paradise. And some of them have literally become taller, thicker hair, stronger, acquired new skills. They're fighters now. And in the end, this other evil person comes to the Shire. And these hobbits that went on to the journey can actually defeat the threat, because they've worked towards a goal, they have grown. So that's kind of the moral of the story. And I will mention Bhagavad Gita a little bit later. So why am I telling you this? Well, I'm an economics person. Management is my education, but I've done all my career within HR. I started with something called executive search. It's a fancy name for recruitment. So you can have a more higher bill to the customers. But it was an environment with a lot of hard work. I felt like I was working like I was an Indian person, but I wasn't really. But I was working hard. I did my best. I worked maybe, 60, 70 hours every week, Some of you will think like, yeah, that's nothing. But I was only thinking about work. I was feeling like, honestly, I didn't, when I was younger I had these hobbies, but I didn't think of any hobbies. I didn't think of my family, my mom and dad, my brothers, just thinking of work, business problems. So I felt like, I don't know, a machine somehow. I don't know, do you recognize the feeling? So then COVID came, and I met my wife. We now have 2 kids together. What happened during COVID is I met a friend from my hometown. He's called Anton. His mom is from Korea. And he had joined a running club. And he asked me, do you want to come? And I said, okay. Sure. And actually, the talk we had yesterday with the NEC guy, sorry, I forgot his name, but he said like they want average people. Yeah, thank you. So I'm really, when it comes to logical thinking, I'm very average. I'm not so smart. I can't jump high. Like agile methods, you all outsmart me. I know so little. I'm a beginner. Finding my way, you know, when I'm in another country, looking at a map, I get lost. But when I was smaller, when we were running at gymnastics, I outran everyone. I never found a person who outran me. So I knew this is something that I'm talented in. And I grew up in a small town, so it's not, you know. But still. So I started, it was 2019. And, you know, I was not in my best shape because I worked so hard and not trained so much. So I started kind of average. But I had a really steep development. So today, if there is a competition in Sweden for elite runners, well, I'm invited. So there are certain time limits to do that. So I don't know if this will tell you anything, but if you ever run 5 kilometers, so I've done that in 14 minutes and 55 seconds. Yeah. Just to put it into perspective, 10K I have done in 31:30. So I would say in this crowd, I'm a running expert, and I can't teach you anything about agile. But through perceiving this goal, where I've had some time targets and like a vision, I've learned some things, and I want to test this out a bit. But first of all, I said this session was about you, and I only talked about myself and about Lord of the Rings. But first of all you people who are managers, could you stand up? Like manager in your work? Yeah, people manager. Yeah. Okay, quite many. Okay, you can sit down. Anyone who is a support function, like HR or finance or something like that? 2 people in the back? 3? Perfect. Yeah. Any specialists, like a technical specialist or an agile specialist, stand up? Okay, can sit. Are there anyone who is a leader here? Agile is about leadership, right? Isn't everyone everyone should stand up. Okay, you can sit. Thank you. Okay, now I know a little bit about you now. I know that you probably live in Pune. I know that we have a lot of managers here and a lot of specialists and a lot of leaders. Okay. So I've been working against clear goals. You know, you talk about it a lot in Agile. So my goal right now is I want to run a 10K above 31 minutes. That's one of my goals. But I've also had goals. I think it was last year I said I want to run like 9,000 kilometers in a year. And you think like, wow, it's good with a concrete goal, blah, blah, blah. But I did my week and I felt like, wow, 9,000 kilometers, that's a lot. It's abstract. Didn't give me anything. I didn't work harder because of the goal. I had it on paper and everything, but it was super abstract. So I've changed, and now I have weekly goals, and I measure my success of reaching the goals. It's like 4 goals. I should run 60 kilometers every week or more. I should do flexibility because I'm getting older, I'm not getting less stiff. And I should do some strength training. And I measure that every week, and I have like a success of 75% average this year. I've been here in Pune since Wednesday, and I've been running 4 times. And that's just because I don't want this week to be red in my Google Sheets. So I've realized that reaching success is a lot of what you do every day. It's your routines. Starting a routine, I think, is really difficult. I hated flexibility training. It sucks. But now I do it every week, and it doesn't feel as hard. Okay. So, about you. Do you have any routines in your private life that you would benefit of stopping? You can think, you can write it down, you just have it in your mind. Something you're doing every day or every week that you would like to stop. Yeah, stop. Like I eat ice cream every day. I would like to stop. Can be anything. Okay. So you're all, experienced, knowledgeable people. So you already have the answers. But are there any routines you would like to start doing? Something you would benefit of starting that would be good for you? Not for your manager, but good for you. Okay. So just shortly talk about some routines I have. I do physical activity every day. That seems to be a good thing, right? Everyone talks about it, so I do that. I start every day by going out into the sun. And I live in Sweden, where there are polar bears. Well, there's not really polar bears, but it's not so easy to find sun every day in Sweden, I can tell you. But I try to. I'm actually outside almost every lunch, because I take my lunch break running, then I eat really quick. So I get to be outside. I read books every night before evening to fall asleep. Lord of the Rings is a good advice if you want a good book. And I don't bring my phone to the bedroom. But yesterday I was sleeping in a hotel. And there's only one room, and the phone is there. And what do you think I did? 2 a.m. this night, I was in LinkedIn and writing about this conference. Because it was there. I just took it. At home, I never do it. Okay? So these are some of my routines. It doesn't have to apply to you. You don't have to compare yourself to me. I live in Sweden, it's another part of the world. I'm another person, I have different parents than you, different cultures. So just think about you, don't compare yourself to me. So if you start thinking of something you would like to achieve, like a goal. Could be private, family, work, whatever you want. So think of a goal you want to achieve. You can write it down if it helps you. You can think about it. Just don't write on your smartphone, because that's forbidden. Okay. Did you think of something? So this goal. How will you know that you achieved the goal? Like, how do you know that you have reached Mount Doom and thrown the ring in the fire? Is it possible to know? You don't have to answer me, you can just think. Okay, this goal that you picked, how important is this goal to you? Okay. So, the ideal situation, 1 to 10, is a 10, that you have reached the goal. Where are you now, from 1 to 10, if you're honest with yourself? What are you doing that is taking you towards this goal today? What are you doing that is taking you away from the goal today? What new steps can you take to reach the goal? Something you're not doing today. Where can you find more information that can help you? Who can help? Is there someone you know? You heard of? Someone who can help you? Okay, so think of the goal again. What will it actually take for you to commit to this goal? Is there something that would make you more committed? If there is something that could make you more committed, how can you get there? Okay. So what did I just do now with these questions? So this is actually coaching. You know, everyone talks about coaching, it's so important. But this, I don't know, how does it feel? Enable? Okay, what do you think?
Like things that we don't sit and we don't think about, and we just think that I need to achieve it, but we don't think around it. So this has helped me to think around it, how I can think of that specific part and I can achieve.
Yeah. If you raise your hands, if you agree to this statement, I don't want this goal anymore. Did anyone come to that conclusion? Priya? You, Prasad? Okay, that's good. Throw it in the paper bin. It wasn't important. But we have still some important goals here to achieve. So this is a coaching method. Maybe you already know it, but it's called the GROW model. You can Google it afterwards. I will not go through it. Maybe you already know it. When working hybrid, you can actually have the GROW model in front of you. The questions are all there. You don't have to come up with them. You can just use the tool. And when you're in conversation with someone in the beginning, when you're not used to asking all these questions, well, be present in the conversation and then look at the questions like, wow, here's a good question. I'll just ask this one. It can even be in text. Someone will not know that you're cheating. You're sitting there with all the questions and you just type. And you ask them, so, what other steps could you take instead of providing them with the solutions? This is something that I was taught at a leadership course in Tieto Every leadership pipeline. And the facilitator there was coaching us like I do with you now. And I felt that like, wow, she's coaching 40 people, maybe it was 30 at the same time, digital. And I actually got something out of it. Cool, I'll see if it works. And now I'm testing it with you. Some more things just since I think I have more time, but I know that everyone is probably hungry. I'm hungry, so I will cut it short. But I also have some like philosophical rules that I try to follow. And one is something I've already told you. And now if you want to take pictures, you can take pictures. And now you can actually have your phone. But when I run, like last year, I was running this guy and I was crushing him. And it felt good, like I won. Over him at least. And now this year, he's beating me. 30 seconds in, let's say, a 5K. That's a lot. I feel so depressed. Why is he beating me? And there's this quote a person in my team said. Her name is Kirti. She wrote it on LinkedIn. And it goes something like this. So Fredrik, focus on the goal. What is the goal? Okay? Focus on getting the job done. Focus on your work. And don't mind the outcome. Because the outcome was, does this guy beat me? And I wasn't, but I was thinking about that during the run. I saw his back. I'm like, he's beating me, I feel shitty. And that, you know, maybe if I would focus on how can I run faster? How can I not quit? I would have reached a better outcome. But I was thinking on that. And I was also thinking like, oh, people will see this on social media and they will see like he beat me and they will look at the list. So don't compare yourself so much to others. Look, there's a lot of wisdom. I have not read Bhagavad Gita myself. I just saw this quote. But it makes sense. And I struggle with this every day still. So there's one thing. Focus on the goal. Focus on the work. Don't get depressed by the outcome. I have these other rules, but now I have troubles to forgetting. I forgot them. But I think we have like 4 or 3 minutes. I'll talk with you outside if you want. I can stand here all day, connect with me on LinkedIn and all this. But I think it's time for lunch. I'm hungry. I hope you're hungry, and I hope it's going to be a great lunch. So,
and then I will conclude it for you as a conclusion, because I also started with you. Yes?
What?
Because he forgot. He actually said that, yeah. Karmanyevadikaraste ma shukala. Yeah. Yeah. Please give a big hand to Fredrik. Few of the lessons that you must have already learned. Number 1, there is nothing like a good question. Always help each other with good questions that will bring a best outcome for this. Number 2, if you are not passionate about your own goal, you cannot ask management to give you goals. Can you percolate down the goals, please? You can't do that. You can ask for a vision, you can ask for a mission, but you can't say, give me your goals, because your goals are yours, theirs is theirs, okay? Number 1. Then next one is, also thinking is a very difficult job. And how much that he was actually being slow, that much slow we should be, actually. Otherwise, what happens is we are just rushing into the things, like, "Arey, 5 minutes mein khatam karna hai," you know. I have seen people doing goals में क्या लिखना है यार, बाजू वाले को पूछते हैं कि क्या लिखना है इसके अंदर, क्योंकि at the end job तो वही करना है जो पहले कर रहे थे. So what should we write? So if you want to make it more meaningful to your people, maybe they will take 2 meetings, 3 meetings. It's okay. Make shorter meetings, like 30 minutes. Ask them a question, let them think. Because the more you will teach them how to think, the better it is going to go for you, because they know better than you. It's just that they have not been evoked in their thought process. So what he was trying to say is, our work is as a coach, not looking at people and wondering, can you solve this puzzle? Actually enjoy the puzzle. So with that, Fredrik and I would like to take a bow to you, and thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you Priya, and thank you Fredrik for the wonderful session. I think whenever the performance management comes to our mind, we only think about our professional, career, but never talk about the personal goals and all. So thanks for bringing this up so that everybody can think about it.
Thank you.
So yeah, I would like to request Mr. Dhiren to come forward to felicitate Fredrik. Thank you, Dhiren.
Thank you.
And you see the Slido scanner over here for the feedback. We request everyone to please go to this site and please enter your feedback. That is very important for us to know. How did you like the session? We are having a lunch break till 2:05. And after coming back, we are having another workshop on digital body language and remote work by Animish Raje. So let's take a break and come back for the workshop. Thank you, everyone.